Hello and welcome back to our channel. In this video, we'll tell you how to spend 3 days in beautiful Cancun in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. We've done the research for you so you don't have to. Just sit back, relax and enjoy the video. Oh, and also don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's start. The airport is 30 minutes away from the city. You won't be able to book an Uber here, but you will find approved list of taxi companies as soon as you exit the airport on the left-hand side. Be sure to select one of them and define and finalize on the rate before you get in the taxi. So first things first, Cancun is very safe overall, so you don't need to worry about that. But if you really want to relax, I would suggest you book an all-inclusive resort. I did a separate video on the resort that we stayed in. I will add the link to that video in the description below. Anyhow, here's a list of things that I would suggest you can do, and I will explain how we spent our 3 days in Cancun, and then you can pick and choose whatever fits your shoe. Cancun was a small Mayan village which was then developed by the Mexican government in the 1960s to a global tourist destination. The first 9 hotels in the hotel zone that we're in right now were financed by the government itself to attract investors up until 1974. So after checking into the hotel, our first order of business was to try some local Mexican breakfast. We decided to go to this place called Dona Yola, rated 4.9 on Google, and try some local authentic Mexican food. The vibe was really nice, the weather was good too. They had indoor and outdoor seating areas so you could choose whatever you prefer, and since this is a local home-owned business, the taste could be as authentically Mexican as possible. I would definitely recommend this. Their menu had a bunch of Mexican Mayan style eggs. We ordered chilaquiles and we ordered Mexican coffee to go with it. Chilaquiles is something that I haven't tried before. It's basically corn chips with scrambled egg and some sauces, which is absolutely amazing. Our next stop was the Flea Market, which is in the hotel zone downtown, pretty walkable from our hotel, but you can also always take the number 7 bus that runs throughout the hotel zone. I don't remember the exact price of the ticket, but you can also avail that. Flea Market is a place where basically you can get all and every kind of souvenirs that you need, but also be prepared to be haggled a lot because everyone is going to follow you and ask you to come into their shop and buy something. If you don't, they will be offended, and always don't forget to bargain. They've also got this small seating space in the middle of the market where you can rest for a while, and it also reflects the Mayan and Mexican cultures depicted very well here. You can easily spend 1 to 2 hours at the flea market to get all the stuff that you need. After we did our shopping, we went to this juice place to get some juice. But one thing to keep in mind is that everyone is going to ask you for tips, so you need to keep some Mexican pesos or US dollars on you if they ask you for tip. If you don't give them tip, even though you're buying directly for them, they will be offended. Right across the flea market is the party zone of the hotel downtown, where you'll find Senor Frog, Coco Bongo, and all of the other clubs that you definitely need to check out. We'll cover them later in the video. For our second day in Cancun, we had booked a full day tour with Get Your Guide, specifically Amigo Tours. I'll add the link to that in the description below. Basically a tour to Chichen Itza, one of the cenotes, and the first Spanish colony in Mexico in the 16th century, Valladolid.
Chichen Itza. 2 hours. 2 hours to ride to Chichen Itza. Is this the first time that you go to Chichen Itza? Show me your hand. Everybody. Sacrifice. Amigos, Chichen Itza is very, very popular. Every day there are more than 10,000 visitors. 10,000 visitors. This is a lot of people. Multiple by $40 into the house. We have to stay together even after the death. Sometimes to the garden, okay? But the Ansan Mayas into the house. We sleep together even after.
Chichen Itza is 3 hours away from Cancun, but our first stop was at Chichikan Cenote, which is 2 hours away from Cancun. So what are cenotes and why are they so famous in Mexico? You remember an asteroid hitting the Earth 66 million years ago and forming a crater in the Yucatan Peninsula, eventually leading to the extinction of dinosaurs? Yeah, you guessed it right. Cenotes in Mexico formed primarily through the dissolution of limestone bedrock by acidic rainwater, which created vast underground cave systems. When the roofs of these caves collapsed, they formed the open-air sinkholes known as cenotes. For the time that you are here, you will experience Mayan culture and the history of the region from a local Mayan themselves, and you will have enough time to explore the surroundings too. Once your soul and spirit is cleansed, you will have the time to explore this local gift shop, and you can also try Mayan tequila, basically made out of cactus and honey. The tour itself also does include a tequila tasting and a buffet lunch, included all within the price. We're now headed to the cenote itself. I'll put some tips on the screen here so you can pause and take screenshots or note them down if you need to. But if you do not have a swimsuit, you cannot go into the cenote because you need to take a shower before entering to cleanse your body of all cosmetics, makeups, and sunscreens. So you definitely need to take a shower, and you need to have a towel as well because they don't provide towels. Life jackets, yes they do. Also, there are two ways to see a cenote. If you do not want to go into the water, you can always view the cenote from the top. There is a viewing point, or if you need to go and swim, you definitely need to follow those tips. We personally recommend swimming for the full experience. Our next stop, Chichen Itza, just 1 hour away from the Chichikan Cenote. Chichen Itza was once a major Mayan city, flourishing as a political, economic, and religious center from roughly 750 to 1200 AD. The city was home to thousands and featured impressive structures like pyramids, temples, and ball courts. While it was abandoned by the 15th century, its ruins were discovered in the 19th and are now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Our tour included the Chichen Itza entry fee, but you are required to pay $40 tax as an international tourist and additional if you plan to take in a video camera.
Excited to be in Chichen Itza. The way ancient Mayans welcomed a very special guest to a sacred place, they said something like this. Sukuneshetel kikesh bashkawalik malokin yanak tesh kumsi hiltim puksika peno hochkimak olatumen guadaneshetel den.
Our guide was extremely knowledgeable about the Mayan history and spent a good amount of time explaining everything to us before we had free time to explore on our own. I would definitely recommend booking a guided tour or you'll miss out on important bits of history.
You want right below that ring. Right below the ring you will see the best preserved carving. So on your free time you come here, go directly under that ring and you see carvings with representations.
Fun fact, this place is inspiration for the Disney movie The Road to El Dorado.
Kun, snake's nest. Kukulkan, bird, snake, the feathered snake, symbol of fertility. But Edward Thompson lived here for 20 years. 20 years, and this is one day of work in Chichen Itza. Edward Thompson, one day of work of 20. Clap 15 times. 15 times will give you time that you synchronize it, make it sound like one, not fast. I will mark the pace with my arm and hard, very hard. And you will hear the cry of this bird in that tune. Uno, 15 times, okay? Uno, dos, tres.
The ancient city covers an area of about 740 acres, and at its height the city was home to between 35,000 and 50,000 people. The Temple of Kukulkan, which is basically a large pyramid that serves as a giant calendar and the wonder of the world, has 365 steps including the top one for each day of the year, and is famous for the descent of the feathered serpent illusion during equinoxes. The Plaza of 1,000 Columns was a vast square-shaped plaza that featured hundreds of carved stone columns that once supported a large roof. It was constructed between 900 and 1200 AD and is located next to the Temple of the Warriors. The Temple of the Warriors is a 40 feet high and 133 feet wide structure. The central temple shows bas-reliefs of warriors, eagles, and jaguars devouring human hearts. The Temple of the Warriors is one of the most impressive and important structures at Chichen Itza. It might be the only known late classic Mayan building sufficiently big enough for really large gatherings. The Great Ball Court measures approximately 545 feet in length and 225 feet in width, with walls around 26 to 40 feet high. It is the largest ball court in Mesoamerica. This ball game was also shown in the movie The Road to El Dorado, and the ball game was more a ceremonial ritual than a sport. It represented the recreation of the mythical combat between night and day. There is a singular acoustic phenomenon peculiar to the ball game court. If one speaks in the temple in the southern end, the voice can be heard at the opposite end, as the sound reverberates along the walls of the north temple. Our final stop of the day, 30 minutes away from Chichen Itza, is Valladolid. The history of the city begins in 1543, when the Spanish founded it. but it was relocated to its current site in 1545 on top of the Mayan city of Zassi. Over the centuries, the city became a flashpoint for the Castle War of Yucatan in the mid 1800s and the site of the first spark of the Mexican Revolution in 1910. The colonial architecture and culture reflect its history, with many buildings constructed using stones from dismantled Mayan structures. Right in the heart of the city is the main park called Park Campo Grande. It is a large triangular public park located in the city center, known for its green space and birds, including peacocks. The most picturesque part of the city is Iglesia de San Servacio. This is a church, and the old architecture, complemented by palm trees, makes it incredibly aesthetic and a sight that one never gets tired of looking at. The tour only stops for 30 minutes in Valladolid. My suggestion would be to explore the streets and take it all in. It has a lot of Spanish history. Explore the nearby markets, get yourself some souvenirs if you can, and then head on to Choco Story Museum, which is basically a museum telling you about the history of chocolate. And did you know that chocolate was invented in Mexico and cocoa is basically a fruit native to Mexico itself? We spent the majority of our third and final day within the hotel, lounging by the beach and swimming in the pool and the ocean itself. We had our breakfast, lunch, and dinner all within the hotel itself. We were also able to book a 30-minute jet ski thanks to our hotel, and you can also book a bunch of other water activities if you wish to, including snorkeling. Really funny story here is that we fell off of our jet ski into the middle of the ocean, and I would 100% not recommend that. Something happened with the balance of the jet ski and we fell in, but thankfully there were people close by who could rescue us. And no, before you start wondering, we could not capture it on camera for you. We ended our trip with a show that we had booked at Coco Bongo for the night. The show is 4 hours long, so prepare to be well hydrated, and it's really loud, so be prepared for that too. The show was definitely worth it. It's really long with a lot of fillers in between, but if you've got the time and tent for the whole full hours, we could not do that because we had a flight to catch the next morning. But yeah, this was pretty much it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like and comment and subscribe to the channel and let us know if you think if anything was missing. Until next time, take care and goodbye.